Have I got a unique mover for you? Jerry back with that Theatrically Jerry, and today I'm doing a review on this super bizarre looking 6x40 RGBW beamer, and this is by Uking. Uking was kind enough to send this out to me for review. So this is their newest ZQ02359 Beam Pro. I've been noticing Uking for their quality and affordable products. I've actually personally purchased a lot of their fixtures to review myself with my own money. I was impressed with their selection and also their pricing. Included with purchase of the ZQ02359 is the user manual. And again, if you've ever watched my channel, you know that I'll tell you to keep these. They're very important. It goes over menu functions as well as your DMX channel table and how to properly mount and clean your light fixture. So definitely keep that. You're getting a PowerCon power cable. Glad to see that they included that. You're also getting a quick release. This is a mounting bracket for mounting this light fixture to a truss. You're going to use your M10 hole here and attach a C-clamp. So they've included that as well. One thing that they've also included that I don't usually see with light fixtures is a safety cable. So Uking has actually provided you with a safety cable to attach to this light fixture. I was surprised to see that. You usually don't get these with fixtures, so great job on that, Uking. So this is not a small light fixture by any means, but it's also not the largest I've reviewed. It measures in at 16.72 inches tall by 14.37 inches wide by 11.42 inches deep. So as you can see from its side profile here, it's actually a rather slim light fixture. It weighs in at about 15.676 pounds, so not super heavy, but also not lightweight. It's a medium range fixture in terms of size as well as its weight. To reduce weight, the fixture is made up of both aluminum alloy. So we have aluminum here, aluminum. This is plastic. We have aluminum. This is base is plastic. Carrying handles are plastic. Combining both of these just gives this fixture a polished look, as well as keeping down on the weight of the light fixture itself. It feels extremely sturdy and robust. It definitely feels like a professional light fixture to me, and as you can see, it looks great. There is a lot going on for this moving head beam. The front of this fixture contains a moving head that looks something like a carousel or flying saucer. There are 6 glass lenses that surround the outer perimeter of the moving head, and behind each lens are 40-watt RGBW LEDs, and these are chip-on boards. So that's a total of 240 watts of total LED power. We'll take a look at this more in depth later on in the review, but I just kind of wanted to give you guys an overview of what the actual moving head looks like. As you can see, it can pan and tilt like this, just to give you guys a better view. The front of this light features a 1.77 inch full color LCD display. To the right of the screen, we have our menu button, our up button, our down button, and our enter button. And these buttons are actually very easy to press, and they do make an audible clicking sound when you've selected one. So I was glad to see that. I like the circular layout of the buttons. To the left of the display here are your DMX and error LEDs. The DMX LED will light up green when it's getting a DMX signal, and the red LED will light up if there's an error with the fixture itself. For instance, when you first start it up and it goes through all of its tests to make sure the homing's correct and the motors are working. If it does find a problem, this red LED will illuminate. The back of this fixture is nicely laid out with your I/O ports. So dead center here we have a on and off rocker switch. It does give a nice audible click when you select it. Right below it is a safety resettable fuse. Glad to see that they've included a safety feature with this light fixture. To the right of that is your PowerCon power in and PowerCon power out. And that is for chaining power to your light fixtures. And to the left here, we have our 3-pin DMX in and our 3-pin DMX out. And that is for chaining DMX data from one light fixture to the other. So as you can see, nicely laid out back panel here, easy to access everything. Everything's large, it's not small and hard to access, so I loved seeing the back panel here. Alright, so let's go ahead and power this fixture on so we can check out the user interface and the built-in menus. So to power this on, we're just going to hit the on and off rocker switch to on. And the fixture is going to start up and it's going to go through all of its tests like I explained earlier to make sure that everything is working correctly and the homing is correct for your X, Y, and Z axis. So the light fixture has started up and let's go ahead and take a look at the built-in user interface. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the user interface here. So this is our home page. As you can see, it's a full color LCD display. Anything that's selected in red will be the current menu selection. So as you can see right now, it says DMX. If I hit enter, it's going to throw the fixture into auto mode. Hit enter again. Now it's in sound. Hit enter again, manual mode. Hit enter again, and we're back to DMX. And this large screen here is showing me my DMX address. So it's at 001 right now. You can change it, of course. We're going to go ahead and go down to our next menu here. And I'm going to hit enter. And that basically what that's doing is flipping the screen, just in case you have this light fixture hanging upside down on a truss system. So I was glad to see that they've included that as well. Our next menu is going to be our language menu. You can do English, Chinese. Our next menu is our reset menu. You can reset this fixture back to factory default. It's basically going to go through all of its tests again to make sure the fixture is working appropriately. This menu that says 14 channel is the DMX Channel Modes. So you do have the choice of 14 channel mode or 16 channel mode. I'm going to keep mine at 16. Our next main menu is setup. If you hit setup, you're going to go into a more text-based menu system instead of graphical. So run mode, again, you could select DMX, manual, sound, or auto. DMX address, you can select anywhere from 001 to 512. Channel mode, 16 or 14. Sensitivity is for sound sensitivity mode, and you can select anywhere from 100 being the most sensitive down to 0. I'm going to leave mine back at 80, how it was for now. Our next menu, and I was glad to see that they've included this. You usually only see this with Pro fixtures, and since this is Ukings ZQ02359 Beam Pro, you're actually getting this option, and that's your dimmer curve. So you can set it from linear to S curve to inverse square or square. I'm going to leave mine at linear for now, and we'll look at that later on in the review. Our next option here is dimmer speed. So how fast do you want this to go from 0 to 100 and 100 to 0 according to your dimmer? You can do fast or you can do smooth. You can invert your x-axis, which means it's going to go in the opposite direction. You can also do that with your y. And you can also exchange X and Y as well. So there's a lot of pro features on this fixture. You have your X and Y encoder that's on. You can turn it off if you want. The no DMX signal means how do you want this light fixture to respond if it's not receiving a DMX signal any longer. And you can select clear or keep. So it will clear itself out and go back to default, or it will keep the very last signal it received before it lost its DMX signal. And we have our display reverse, which we saw earlier. It just flips the display upside down. We're going to put that back to regular. Display backlight, you can turn it off or on. Language, English or Chinese. We have our motor reset. So you can reset the motors on this if you want. Are you sure? Hit OK. It's going to start resetting the X, Y, and Z motors back to where they're supposed to be at factory-wise. So basically finding home. You can do that as much as you want. You can also load defaults if you ever feel like you've screwed up too many settings. You can set this back to factory. All right, let's go back. Now let's check out some other main menus. We have a info menu. That's going to give you your software version, the total hours the light fixture has operated at, current hours, total LED hours, current LED hour lamp, the fixture temperature, a DMX monitor, which I think is really cool. I'll show you that right now, why not? So DMX monitor is going to show you what value each channel is currently at live, almost like what you get on your light console or controller. So that's kind of a really cool feature. We're going to go back here. System errors is going to show you all of the errors the light fixture is encountering, but you're only going to see stuff here if this red LED is illuminated. So there's nothing there now because there are no system errors. Let's go back. Now let's go to our next main menu, which is menu, which is manual. And this is just going to allow you to set DMX channel values right on board the light fixture. You don't actually need a console. So you can select anywhere from 0 to 255. And you can do all of this right from the fixture itself. So very handy. Our next main menu, and I believe it's our last, is advanced. And you must enter a password for this. I don't believe they've given the password out. You would have to contact Uking. But basically, advanced is going to allow you to offset some of the factory settings, just in case they don't match up with your other light fixtures. So you can obviously do that as well. We're going to go ahead and get out of there. I've actually had to use the advanced menu before. If I do get the passcode for you guys, I will post it down below in the description. They usually don't just hand that out, like I said, because you are messing with factory settings, but if I do get it, I will post it down below in the description for you guys. The Uking ZQ02359 has 6 powerful 40-watt RGBW LEDs on board. Let's go ahead and see how well they dim. So I'm going to start out with the traditional white, just because we all know what white's supposed to look like. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up our white all the way to full. Okay, so it's at full. Now I'm going to bring it down to 0. Let's see how smooth this fixture dims. So as you can see, it actually dims quite well. You can kind of see it on the back wall. It's very close to theater style dimming, so way better than your cheap RGBW LEDs that you usually purchase with budget-friendly fixtures. You are getting that really nice gradient for dimming. I'm going to go ahead and try out the other colors as well, but let's just go ahead and see if there's any stepping. So there is some stepping on the very lower end from 0 to 20. There is a little bit of visible stepping, but it's not bad. Basically from 31 to 30, it's either on or off. So again, very close to theater style dimming, but not 100% there, because there is a little bit of visible stepping. Let's go ahead and take a look at the blue. So the color temperature of this blue looks amazing right now. We are using the pure colors. We're not mixing any random colors into this. And again, there is a little bit of stepping on the lower end, but nothing too dramatic, so it really doesn't bother me. The dimmer on this is actually super smooth. And as stated earlier, there are different dimming curves. So if we change the dimming curve, it could make the LED lights even smoother. So let's go ahead and see what a different dimming curve will do for this. I'm going to go ahead and go to Setup, and we're going to go to Dimming Curve. I'm going to put dimmer speed to smooth. And let's try S curve. Okay. We are still getting the stepping on the lower end. Nothing too dramatic again. Let's go ahead and see what a different dimming curve does. Let's try inverse square. So inverse square actually reduces the stepping on the lower end. So inverse square is definitely an option for you guys if you're interested in a smoother dimming experience. Let's go ahead and try square or linear. Let's Let's try square, and then we'll go back to linear and see what that does. All right, so we're at square. You still get some visible stepping on the lower end, but it's actually not as bad. So square definitely helps with the more theatrical style dimming that you guys are looking for. The blue looks great dimming with the square dimming curve. All right, let's go put this back to linear because a lot of us use linear dimming. So we're gonna do a linear dimming curve, but I did change it to smooth. Let's see what that does. So smooth actually really helps with the stepping on the lower end. So definitely if you want that smooth theatrical like dimming, go ahead and put that on linear and also select smooth instead of fast for your dimming speed. And it actually looks pretty great. But again, this light fixture is not for a theater. This is for DJs, this is for nightclubs, this is for parties and weddings. So not too many people are going to be concerned with theater style dimming. I'm just very nitpicky, so I wanted to check and see what that looked like. But anyways, the dimmer is great on this, so I give that a plus. Now we're going to go ahead and check out the strobe. So this fixture is equipped with a 0 to 20 hertz strobe, and what that means is 20 hertz is the refresh rate, or how many times the light can turn itself on and off within 1 second. So 20 times per second, so it should be a very decent looking strobe. We're gonna go ahead and check that out right now. I like to use white, so we're gonna do white with that. We'll bring up my white, and then we're going to go ahead and check out the strobe. So here's the strobe at the slower setting. It's about 1 strobe per second, which is fairly typical. And we're going to keep bringing up the DMX channel value for strobe just to see how fast this is going to strobe. So we're actually at the higher end here. We're not at full intensity, but as you can see, very decent strobe. It looks great to me here personally. Keep bringing it up. Now we're getting faster. We're going into the faster refresh rate. Let's go ahead and bring this to max. So this is the maximum strobe rate, and it is about 20 hertz. So it's actually refreshing very quickly. It looks great. We can, of course, try a different color. Let's go ahead and try blue. Looks great with blue. Looks great with green. And it looks amazing with red. So the strobe is actually pretty great, especially for this budget-friendly pro fixture. So I'm going to say that the strobe is great on this as well, especially if you're looking for that really punchy, typical looking strobe. This is going to be one of them. I would have liked to, of course, seen a faster refresh rate. Strobes nearing 30 hertz come on more expensive light fixtures. The 30 hertz strobe so fast it almost looks like a solid light. It's refreshing itself so fast. So 0 to 20 hertz, not bad. Great job on that as well. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and look at macros, and macros are built-in shows by the factory that are pre-programmed onto the light fixture. We're going to go ahead and check out what those look like. I'm going to bring out my strobe. We don't need it anymore. Okay, so this is our macro channel, and yes, this macro channel also has a speed control channel. It's the DMX channel right after the macro channel. And right now, as you can see, we have a really nice smooth fade macro. And you can, of course, increase the speed of that all the way to 100%. So now we have a really fast fade going on here. Let's go ahead and check out some other macros. This is our pulse macro. And again, you can adjust the speed of it from slow to fast. So you're going to get your typical and traditional macros, which is going to be your smooth gradient, your pulse, your color change, and your jump. So let's check out some more. Mixed into the macro channel are actual pre-mixed colors using all of the primaries, so red, green, blue, and white. The factory has actually created colors for you, so you get some very unique colors on the macro channel that are pre-programmed. We have some aqua, teal, some yellows, salmon color, magenta, pinks, purples, blues, some whites. We got our red there. And the higher up in the macro channel you go, you're going to hit the other macro. Which is right here. And again, you can control this from fast to slow. And this is just the jump macro, so it's going to jump between all the available colors. What makes the Uking ZQ02359 unique is the movement. So it's capable of panning 540 degrees, tilting 320 degrees, and rotating on its Z-axis infinitely. Let's go ahead and check out the movements and see how fluid and quick they are. So we're going to look at the motor movements here. A few things to mention. The fixture itself, if you run in 16 channel mode, does have X and Y fine. So these are 16-bit motors on the X and Y axis. The Z axis does not have a 16-bit fine adjustment, so I wanted to point that out to you guys. You can also adjust the speed, of course, of your X and Y axis as well, and we're going to look at that here in a minute. But right now, let's go ahead and just see how quickly everything's capable of moving. So we're going to check out the X axis first. I'm at 0, and we're going to bring it to 100. So that's 540 degrees at its fastest ability to turn. We can, of course, adjust the speed. I'm going to go to half that, and we're going to see how slowly it will rotate. So it pans at different speeds, and you can actually go super slow with the pan if you want more dramatic effect. Watch how slowly this is capable of panning. So it's panning right now, and it's doing it so perfectly and smoothly that it actually doesn't even look like it's moving, but it is, just very slowly, and I'm adjusting that with my speed channel. And I know a lot of you guys are concerned about the speed of the motor, so let's just see how quickly it can do 0 to 540 degrees. I'm going to go ahead and just go to 0 here. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. So 2 seconds for its X-axis to go from 0 to 540 and 540 to 0. Now let's go ahead and check out our y-axis, which is going to be our tilt. I'm going to go ahead and bring this up. So let's see how quickly it can tilt from 0 to 320 degrees according to the user manual. Let's see how quickly it'll do it. 1 Mississippi, 2. Less than 2 seconds for tilt. And you can, of course, adjust the speed as well. So I'm going to adjust the speed here. As you can see, it went slower. And we can go all the way to its slowest setting. And now our motor is going to move super slow. You can also incorporate your pan into it as well. And you get this really cool, over dramatic, slow movement with this fixture. And it looks so cool. Let me go ahead and just bring it back to full speed here. So those are our pan and tilt. Now the special thing that this light fixture has is its Z-axis, which you don't see on a whole lot of fixtures. I want to show you guys what that looks like, and that would be the moving head spinning around and around. So I'm going to go ahead and tilt this so we can see it better. There we go. And now we're going to do our Z-axis, which rotates indefinitely in one direction or another. And you actually do have fine control of this on the lower values for your Z-axis. As you can see here, you can go super slow with it, even though it doesn't have that fine Z-axis channel. So you can definitely adjust this however you want. And eventually, as you go up in value on the Z-axis, you're going to get its auto mode, which is right here. So this is about as fast as this is going to spin, and it can spin clockwise and counterclockwise. So it's actually a pretty fast speed here. And the more you move up, the slower it's going to go. And then it's going to reverse itself. So now we're going to go in the other direction. We'll see how fast it goes in the other direction. So this Z-axis motor is actually really fast. This thing's spinning quite quickly. And that's at 255 for DMX channel value for the Z-axis. Looks great. The motors aren't very loud at all. Speaking of that, we're going to go ahead and do a sound test on this fixture just to give you guys a better idea of how loud this fixture is. I like to do sound tests to show you guys just how loud the fixtures are. The Uking Beam Pro has a built-in active cooling system. Let's hear how loud the fan gets when I put all of the LEDs up to full output. Right now, as you can hear, I'm about a foot away, and you can hear the cooling system running. This is what it does when no lights are on. We're going to go ahead and hear just how loud it is at idle. So I'm about 3 feet away, and I can hear it. It is audible to me, but it's not loud. It doesn't have an obnoxious coil whine to it. It's just, it sounds to me like a typical cooling system on a light fixture that has a lot of power to it. So again, this camera is about a foot away. I did remove the external microphone so we could pick up more sound, just to give you guys an idea. But honestly, I've heard louder fans on cheaper fixtures. So the fan to me is acceptable, especially if you're using this in a nightclub or you're a DJ. Your sound's going to drown out these fans, and if they're hanging high above, Not going to hear it at all. Very typical sound for a light fixture, but we need to bring up all of the LEDs so we can hear the maximum speed of the fan, so we can get an idea of just how loud the total sound is of this fan. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring up our LEDs here. So we're going to bring up our red, our green, our blue, and our white. Now let's listen and hear how loud the fans are. I wanted to point out an interesting characteristic of this fixture. One, there is a plate up here on the top, and it is protecting the fan that's underneath it that cools the LED lights themselves. This plate actually cuts down on sound as well, so that's definitely a really cool design element. But another thing I wanted to show you is the interesting characteristic of the LEDs here. So look at this back wall. We have our red. Here's our red. Now I have a green. As you can see, the green doesn't mix with the red. They're two individual LED pixels here. I bring up my blue, and the blue, let me take out the green here. The blue is above the red. So let's do green, blue, and then white. So on an actual wall, this looks like 4 perfect square cubes of color. So there's blue on top left, green on top right, red on top, or red on the bottom left, and white on the bottom right. So they don't actually mix together. They're going to give you 4 indistinct beams because this is a beam fixture. So you're going to get 4 beams for each light here if you use red, green, blue, and white. And these are 2-degree beam angles for the beam spread. So they're super tight beams of light, and I can show you what the 2 degrees looks like on a flat surface is right there. So it's a super sharp beam you're going to get with these, and we'll see it later on when I introduce haze later on in this video. When I run this in auto mode, I'm going to show you guys exactly what this thing can do. But for right now, I just wanted to point that out to you guys, that you are not going to get a perfect blend with these because this is a beam fixture. So I'm going to go ahead and leave a link down below to purchase this fixture directly from Uking as well as Amazon. If you have any questions or comments on this light, you can leave them down below and I will answer them as quickly as I can, of course. I also wanted to take this time to introduce my merch. So Theatrically Jerry now has a store powered by Fourth Wall. Fourth Wall is a trusted platform that allows you to pay in several ways, including PayPal and pay in 4 payments. I have spent the last several weeks designing graphics, logos, and images that are related to stage lighting and DJ lighting equipment and stuff like that, to be placed on things such as coffee mugs, bags, t-shirts, stickers, and more. So if you haven't already, go ahead and check out my store powered by Fourth Wall and help support me and the channel at Theatrically Jerry. If stage lighting, DJ lighting, atmospherics, or equipment reviews and tutorials interest you guys, go ahead and subscribe to my channel at Theatrically Jerry. I'd really appreciate it. And thank you guys for watching.